and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay Tracy, and this is where we keep the conversation going about post-traumatic growth and preventative education against abuse. Today I thought that we would read a book together. This book is called Safe Love Feels Like This, and this book was brought to my attention by our global systems advisor Jennifer Thies, who lives in Germany. She sent me a message with this book and a short couple pages about it, some notes that she sent. So I thought, you know what, I haven't actually opened this yet, and I'll react to it in real time, and we can talk in the comments about our personal feelings, how we feel the message is landing, if it's clear and easy to understand, and if we think this is a book that might be actually useful to read to our kids at home. So this book is by Lauren Armstrong. I was able to order it on Amazon. I think it was maybe $12 or $13. Safe Love Feels Like This. She says, a message to the reader. As a mother of 3 and educator, my hope is that Safe Love Feels Like This opens the door to meaningful conversations about healthy and unhealthy love. With hope in heart, Lauren. I think that's a really great introduction, and I can already tell that we share the exact same values, at least so far, when it comes to boundaries and how we teach our children to experience love, and how we reparent ourselves too, because if you're someone who's been through trauma, you already know that reparenting is a big part of the process. Have a little coffee today. Okay, page 1, really cute art. It looks like digital art that somebody made. The artist is not listed on here, so maybe this is something we'll come across later in the book. First page. It's really cute. I'm already loving the diversity. I like that there is body language being shown underneath each emotion, also along with facial expressions. So if your child is not super verbal yet, they can still read those cues from the pictures. Safe love holds me close, it is tender and pure. Love shouldn't hurt me, scare me, or yell. If this ever happens to me, I must find a safe person to tell. Okay, so on the first page here it shows, a loving family all hugging together, and then on the opposite page we see a couple fighting while their child is scared in the background. So for your nonverbals, you have the imagery here showing the contrast, and then a little bit of rhyme to help you understand the message. Pretty good. This seems pretty easy to understand. I could be shy, loud, or angry, and safe love won't push me away. Safe love accepts me exactly as I am every single day. This one can get a little bit muddy, I think, because it might be tough to separate this, and maybe it does happen later in the book. The only thing I worry about with it saying safe love accepts me exactly as I am, yes, you should be accepted for who you are, but not all behavior is acceptable. If you're a parent who likes to have structure in your home, this could be a little bit muddy to understand. Love won't make me feel like I'm wrong when I know that I'm right. I step away from anyone who tries to confuse me or pull me into a fight. Love should feel safe, gentle, and kind, like a tight big bear cuddle bringing peace to my mind. Yeah? I think there's always a level of natural conflict, but for the purpose of this book, in general, I think the message is more along the lines that if conflict arises, that you can resolve it, is probably where I personally would go with that. Because it's hard to imagine. I think what they're trying to get across is that maybe people shouldn't belittle each other or make each other feel small. It's a little bit confusing. A person who loves me won't force me to change what I do or say. If anyone tries to control me, I must always walk away. That's great. Aside from your parents, but your parents aren't going to, hopefully they're providing scaffolding more than direct control, but sometimes you do have to do that. Sometimes you have to pick somebody up if they're having a hard time. A person who loves me won't keep secrets that hurt or ask me to do the same. If a secret makes me feel bad, I tell a safe grown-up. I will not play that game. That's good. A person who loves me won't keep secrets that hurt or ask me to do the same. Okay, so they're saying they don't want, that's great. They don't want secrets that cause harm. And it's got these pictures to kind of convey the feeling for our nonverbal kids. No one is perfect and people sometimes make mistakes. Talking with an I'm sorry helps to ease the heartache. Okay, here's the conflict resolution page. I wonder if this would be almost better placed next to the page about conflict, because I think it's a little too far separated. I think if it were side by side, you could kind of see the nuance a little quicker. It's my only take, but I still really like it. I like that the message is still here. And then it shows the family, I'm sorry, I'm glad we all talked, and everyone's hugging and the dog is happy in the background. So it shows that it's safe to make up after conflict. And that might be really helpful, honestly, right after the conflict page, because if it went directly, let's go back to it actually. Love won't make me feel like I'm wrong when I know that I'm right. I step away from anyone who tries to confuse me or pull me into a fight. No one is perfect and people sometimes make mistakes. Talking with an I'm sorry helps to ease the heartache. I think if it were like that, I think it would flow a little better for those two lessons, because they're pretty closely related in my opinion. Let's move on. I spend time with people who make me feel good. There's nothing better than my heart feeling understood. Oh, that is a really great way to show the warmth of connection. And it has all the kids in a pretty modern household sitting together laughing with their dog. They also have coffee mugs. Hopefully it's just hot chocolate or something like that. A person who loves me keeps promises is honest. A person who loves me keeps promises, is honest, and someone that I can trust. They're patient and calm, not quick to combust. That one's a little clunky. A person who loves me keeps promises, is honest, and someone that I can trust. They're patient and calm, not too quick to combust. That one's it's just a little clunky. I kind of understand what they're saying, about keeping promises and being honest and growing trust between each other and having patience with each other. Not too quick to combust. Yeah, it's just a little clunky. I would probably try to find a different way to phrase it. Love is not something I need to beg or chase or catch. That's great. Safe love is confident in knowing a perfect match. Okay, not chasing, begging, or catching. That's good. You generally don't want to do that anyways, because it's sloppy on both sides. You don't want to be chasing someone who said no because you're breaking their boundary, and you also don't want to be in a situation where someone is causing you to chase them, unless it's tag. I listen to this power tell me what feels right or wrong. I trust it. It guides me to always stay strong. That one's a really straightforward, easy to understand lesson. And she's got her little cape on, her glowing heart. This is great. I know love starts first and foremost with me. And it has all these kids holding hearts. I will always choose safe love. It's part of my self-love guarantee. And then a big red heart at the end to always love yourself. And then there's some questions here in the back. It looks like we're pretty much done. Describe some examples of unsafe love. How does this look and feel? This can be tricky. This is a good way to warm kids up to maybe having a deeper conversation. Describe some examples of unsafe love. How does this look and feel? Hopefully they don't have too many examples, but if they do, this is a great way to open that up. What does your tummy and your heart say when something feels wrong? That would be interesting to know if your kids can recall that, if they can feel queasy. I know I get a nervous tummy. And then it gives the website. Please visit selflovesafelove.com to access complete parent and caregiver and educator reading guide and activity sources. So this is a great book. Some of the wording was a little chunky, and to me, it seemed like the lesson was being sacrificed for the rhyme, which is tough because it's true that most people retain information from a story or an experience over being directly told, so I can understand why they would make the writing choice to have those rhymes. And at the same time, I wonder if a couple of the lessons got a little murky because of that. And then I would say I would put the conflict messages closer together, because conflict itself is such a tough thing to navigate, even as adults. You can look in most comment sections on the internet and see that. and I think if those lessons were kind of sandwiched closer together, it might make a little more cohesiveness, both in the lesson and if you happen to be having a conversation. I know for me, when I'm reading my kids stories at night at bedtime, most parents have to stop over and over, either to define a word, talk about something happening in the book, or whatever. It's never a straight through process. And I can imagine if I'm sitting there with reading this story and having to talk about conflict with other lessons in between, it might be a little bit distracting from one of the harder lessons, the more complex ones. So that's my only thought on that book. But overall, I think that it's got a lot of great boundary lessons in it. I think it does a really good job of reaching multiple levels of understanding, whether your child is nonverbal, non-speaking yet, or if they're maybe preschool or early elementary age. I think this is a pretty good conversation starter and a good way to get those tough examples out of your kids without making it specifically about that. And then if it turns out to be one of the books that you read your kids more often, sometimes kids get hooked on a book and they want to read it more and more, then that's a great opportunity to repeat those lessons and really lock them in. So that's great. Thank you, Lauren Armstrong, for putting out great media to teach about the feelings of safe love and self-love. And thank you to Jennifer Heese for sending this book to me. I would love to know everyone's thoughts, if they found it useful, if they have other book suggestions. I will put a link to this book if you want to purchase it for yourself. I have no attachment to this person. I'm just linking it because it was sent to me and I wanted to share it, and I think it's great. Let me know your thoughts. Take care, everyone.